Okay.
Those bronze plaques are expensive. That'd be
Extra quartz.
an alternative.
Yeah, so it'll fix all the passes.
So good.
For that.
So if it doesn't pass suspension, it'll stop.
But if it does.
Oh, come on, don't start with the face now.
All right.
Could you read on us?
Do you need me to do Scott's no report?
Sure, yeah, thank you. We'll now call to order the Tiffin City Council meeting. Today is Monday, August 17th. The invocation and pledge of allegiance will be led by Councilmember Dougherty.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your guidance and wisdom as we gather today to serve the people of our community. Help us to listen with open minds, speak with respect, and make decisions with fairness, integrity, and compassion. Bless our city, its residents, and all those who work to make our community a better place. May our actions today reflect a spirit of service and a commitment to the common good. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll now ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Here.
Councilmember Decker.
Here.
Councilmember Hayes.
Here.
Councilmember Horniman. Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Reesner.
Here.
And Councilmember Snee.
Here.
Thank you. Let the record show that 6 out of 7 council members are present. Minutes for the August 3rd, 2026 regular and committee of the whole have been distributed. Are there any corrections? Okay, seeing none, minutes are approved as distributed. We are now under committee reports. Finance Committee, Councilmember Reesner.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Law and Community Planning, Councilmember Dougherty.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Materials and Equipment, Councilmember Jones.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Personnel and Labor Relations, Councilmember Decker.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Recreation and Public Property, Councilmember Snee.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. There is no report this evening for streets, sidewalks, and sewers. And Economic Development and Downtown Planning, Councilmember Jones.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Does anyone see the need to schedule a committee of the whole? Okay, thank you. We are now under reports of the officers. His Honor, Mayor Lee Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This Saturday, we had the dedication of the Labyrinth, which is known as the South Point Project, Saturday morning down at Hedges Boyer Park. So thank you to John and Beverly Egbert for their donation to the city of Tiffin. And if anybody is down there walking on the path, take a moment, pause, enjoy the Labyrinth, enjoy the nature. It's overlooking the wetlands there. Very nice. Recent rains have delayed the final North Sandusky Street paving, so hopefully the weather will hold so they can get it completed this week. Of course, after paving comes the striping, and then October is when we will see the upgraded traffic light poles installed on that. The South Sandusky Street culvert project still scheduled to finish August 24th, one day before the start of school, so holding our breath for that. The Interceptor Upgrade Sewer Project is getting ready to begin. It's a $23 million project that will take about 3 years to complete. And as construction progresses, we will continue to keep residents and businesses informed of the anticipated road or street closures or any other impacts associated with that. Columbia Gas is still working on Coe Street. I was down there going to the park the other day, Saturday, and they are working heavy on that. So I do have an announcement here from the Seneca County General Health District. They have a Healthy Connections event going on Wednesday, August 19th. So I don't know if you've seen this yet, but it's at Noble Elementary School on the playground from 3 to 7 p.m. I believe they're going to have their health department truck there, and they will have medical professionals on site. You don't need an appointment, free health and wellness checkups and supplies. So that's back to school, getting prepared for back to school. Speaking of back to school, school will be starting soon. So you'll see a lot more walkers and bicycle riders early in the morning and in the afternoon. Also, watch out for those buses. You know, when those lights come on, start flashing, do not pass. So safety first on all of those. I also want to introduce now Marissa Stevens from the Tiffin Arts Partnership, which is also representing TMAC.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council, for having me this evening. As the Mayor mentioned, my name is Marissa Stevens. I serve as the Director of Tourism and Marketing for the Seneca County Collaborative and oversee Destination Seneca County. So Nick is getting me the mic, which is really funny. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Okay, if I hear your ears, please wave your hands. So I wanted to introduce a little bit about the Tiffin Arts Partnership Program. So this is a program that we work together with the City of Tiffin starting at the beginning of this year to bring together public art and kind of help to amplify the work that the Tiffin Municipal Arts Commission was doing and make that burden of bringing public art, whether it was cutting through red tape or getting projects across the finish line, a little bit easier. So as I mentioned, we were formed last year. We officially went into effect at the beginning of this year. And what it does is it takes the Tiffin Municipal Arts Commission funds. It allows TMAC still to operate the grants process, that is the artist development or the public waymarking grant. And then the rest of the money is in the general fund, but earmarked for a signature project by TAP, which is the Tiffin Arts Partnership Program. This organization is led by what we have named the Arts Advisory Council. So that is made up of representatives of the City of Tiffin, Destination Seneca County, and Downtown Tiffin. It also has all of the appointed TMAC members on it. So those individuals vote on the grant aspect of things and then also help provide direction to the Advisory Council. And then we also have community members. So anybody who might live outside the limits of the City of Tiffin, but has a Tiffin address, it really opened the doors to allow more people to be able to sit and kind of direct art within the City of Tiffin. So our goal is to do one signature project per year, and this being our first year, we got together as an organization, had multiple meetings, and decided that our proposed project for year one was going to be titled Tiffin's Roots and Rising. So with the America 250 celebration, Seneca County being a designated community, and really trying to pay homage to art past and future within our community, we came up with this idea of looking back at the old mural that as you came across the South Washington Street Bridge, was the sun there, and how can we kind of incorporate that into future projects. And I know as Mr. Fowler had mentioned, we are trying to get this across the finish line. This has been a project we have been working on since about February. And the reason why it's now coming to fruition is that there was a lot of research and different avenues we tried to explore what would work, what wouldn't work, whether it was going to be downtown, talking with the Architectural Board of Review, talking to building owners, and trying to really find the best place and opportunity for an art project to take place. So the proposed project of Tiffin's Roots and Rising, the concept was created by local artist Claudia Reedy. And what it is the outline of the state of Ohio. And then within that outline, you have the sun design, like we said, that really calls back to that original mural that was in Tiffin at one point, a tree for being a tree city, native Ohio plants, our state bird, and then a squirrel really to call back to Tiffin's parade of squirrels. And we're nuts about Tiffin too. So along with that would be the America 250 logo. So as this goes into the future, it will show that we were a designated community, but also celebrate our 250 years as a country. The artist did note that colors are close but not exact. So the actual colors and design may change slightly, but the general concept will remain the same as it goes up on the wall. The proposed location is at Hedges Boyer Park. So this being our largest park in the City of Tiffin, we thought it was a great opportunity. It will be on the back of the concession stand. So the concession stand that is located at I believe now is called Jocko Field, and the All Abilities Playground. It'll be on the back of this building, so you can see it from Summit Street, the walking path. That building is right along the cross-country carnival course. It is right along the disc golf course, so it really provides a lot of opportunities for visibility and to be seen for people to go and take pictures with, and just a way to welcome them into the park as they're coming in, no matter what activity they may be doing. This is just a general mock-up. Again, things might slightly change, but will provide an opportunity for a nice, vibrant piece of art as you're coming into Hedges Boyer Park, whatever sporting event or activity you may be participating in. And then the cost breakdown. Now, again, this is very estimated, but the Tiffin Municipal Arts Commission is originally allocated $10,000 annually. $2,000 of that is reserved for the TMAC grants. This year, we went through that grant process that Judy from our office helped to facilitate, so the collaborative played a part in collecting the applications, getting TMAC together, and then having those voted on. We only received one application, and that was for the Artist Opportunity, so $500 awarded to that. And then $1,000 in administration fee, and that remains $7,000 remaining for our signature project. So after the minimum total of supplies, again, this was just an estimate of what those might be. The remaining of those funds would go to labor to Claudia. She is doing this mural at a very deeply discounted price, just because she believes in the idea of bringing public art to our community, and especially of the first year of the Tiffin Arts Partnership Program. We wanted to really show a proof of concept and saying we can get something across the finish line, and in the future it would allow for more artists to be involved, more funds to be given to them for their work, and be able to go after different grant opportunities, whatever that may look like. The funds in the Tiffin Municipal Arts Commission line item are a use it or lose it sort of model. So it's not, we cannot roll those funds over. Next year, we would just come back again and ask for $10,000, meaning we can't combine money that we don't use this year with money that's already allocated next year for a larger project. We would have to find something that fits within that budget every single year. So the next steps that we are asking is that our law director has proposed legislation, in addition with Councilmember Snee, which we're very appreciative of, to approve the use of those funds and to use city property, which is the concession stand at Hedges Boyer, for that location. And again, the idea behind the emergency and the suspension of the 3 reading rule is that we don't want it to get cold. When we started this, it was February, and now we want to make sure that we get it across the finish line. Also because of the funding in America 250, as he mentioned, and Claudia is also a teacher at Tiffin Columbian High School. So as she's getting ready to go back to school, it is easier to get it done at the beginning of the year, and try to have her to have ample time to complete that project. Any questions? Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. Also wanted to mention, thank you, Bryce, is that this project was voted on unanimously by the members of the Arts Advisory Council. We went through, like I mentioned, quite a long list of different locations about what might work and suggestions. They all unanimously approved. And then we have received permission from Bryce Kuhn, the director of Tiffin Parks and Recreation. He's in favor and in full support and very excited about the project, as well as the park board of directors.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just, when it showed that picture of the impression, what it would look like, on the other side of that door, is like, right. This just suggested maybe in the future, just have something that might be in conjunction with that, to put something up there in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be next year, what have you, but it's just my suggestion.
Absolutely. And there was a option at one point, or a mock-up that had something in the background as well across the whole building. At this time, the Parks Department said they really wanted the focus to be in the Ohio, but I think it definitely, going through this process, opens up doors to make it easier in the future, that if somebody wanted to add something on, they definitely could.
Yeah, because, I mean, like Tiffin, we got that just recently, the best...
Hometown?
Huh?
Best hometown.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, celebration. Yeah.
Thank you.
Councilmember Dougherty.
What is Miss Reedy charging to complete this?
So she is just willing to take whatever's left over after supplies. So roughly supplies is around $1,200 or $1,076 is the minimum total. And then the labor is the remaining funds of the $7,000 minus the materials and supplies. Just to give you like context, so the mural that was painted downtown on the Legion is about a $20,000 project. So the fact that she is willing to do it at such a discounted price, at the size of it is, the high quality materials being used and the time it will take, I think just shows the belief in the project she has.
Mayor?
And just so you didn't know, the funds are already in the budget. So
Correct.
TMAC gets budgeted those funds every year. So it's not an issue of having to allocate more funds into the budget.
Any other questions? Thanks, Marissa.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Very good. Clerk of Council, Ann Forrest.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Director of Finance, Jill Lindhorst.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a request for legislation tonight, F26-18, to amend the 2026 budget ordinance 25-98 to appropriate funds into the general fund, street maintenance fund, parks and recreation fund, and the sewer WPCC fund. This appropriation is for $100 to the Finance Department for a reimbursement check received from the GFOA for travel expenses to attend the annual conference. $7,700 to the Parks and Recreation Department for expenses related to vandalism to the units during the 4th of July events. Increases in monthly rates effective July 1st, 2026. Increased use of the ball fields for softball and baseball leagues through October. And summer camp expenses due to increased attendance. Along with this, I also am requesting $50,000 to various departments for telephone, water, gas, and electricity expenses for the remainder of 2026. We did a mid-year review on our utility expenses, and due to rising rates and utility costs, we feel that we need the extra money appropriated into the budget. Nationally, the electricity is up 7%, natural gas is up 10%, water is up 6%, and telephone and communication expenses are up 4%. And the city has also been affected by those rising rates. So in order to be able to pay those bills through the end of the year, we would need that appropriation of $50,000. I also have the Director of Finance report for the month ending July 31st, 2026. Total receipts for the month, $5,140,160.26. Total expenses for the month, $5,091,385.75. The general fund unencumbered balance, $5,523,905.65. The income tax receipts for July 2026 were $871,211.93. The total decrease in income tax receipts in July 2026 compared to July 2025 is $81,553.79. Year-to-date income tax receipts are down 2.52%. The 0.25% portion of income tax receipts that was transferred into Fund 215 for public streets for July 2026 is $108,701.63. The portion of income tax receipts that was transferred into Fund 331 for capital improvements for July 2026 is $76,251.03. The unexpended balance for all funds is $44,450,158.85, which is the same as the bank balances for the same time period. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Reasoner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to accept the Finance Director's report and bank reconciliation for month ending July 31st, 2026.
Thank Thank you. Is a motion to accept the finance report for month ending July 2026? Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That motion carries. We're now under Director of Law, Zachary Fowler.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I do have a few items. One is if you recall, you passed the TIF ordinance at the last meeting. One of those sections in state law require that it be delivered to the Ohio Department of Development. That was done. So just so you're aware, the last process to that is there's a form we'll have to get to the county auditor by the end of the year. But I can report when that's done as well. The other item is just there was a Ohio Supreme Court decision on August 7th, and because this had to do with municipal legislation, I thought I'd just touch on it. This could potentially, or does impact the city in some way. So context is the Village of Asheville passed a resolution for a development, a supply agreement with the developer who is going to build 2 data centers. The resolution was passed with an emergency, fairly similar to what you might see, but it said council declares this to be an emergency measure immediately necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety of this municipality, very similar to what you might see in ours, and for the further reason that council needs to accept these terms as soon as possible so that the project is not unnecessarily delayed. And it had to do with essentially that last part is where the court was weighing in on whether that was sufficient or not, and the court said it wasn't. The takeaway from that essentially is the court's looking for that emergency clause or the legislation even of itself to have enough facts in there so that a reader could understand exactly why that legislation needs passed now or needs to be effective upon passage and not the 30 days, which is, this is a village, that's how it is under state law, but our charter is also 30 days. So the reason I bring that up is just that when we talk about legislation, especially like in a committee, just expect maybe a few more questions around the emergency part if that's what's being desired, because we'll want to put that in the legislation. You can see a little bit of example of that in the 2 that were prepared, the ordinance 26, 56 and 57. Since the case had come out while I was preparing those, I was able to try and work a few more facts in so that it, I think, would make sense to a reader as to why the emergency is necessary. But if you ever have questions about it, you're certainly welcome to ask, but I just wanted you to expect why if I start asking a few more questions when we're wanting to do an emergency, this will be why. And
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. That concludes my report.
Great. We're now under written communications.
Thank you. Mayor's request for legislation number 26-34, authorization to execute a deed and update a legal description.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-34 is assigned to the Recreation and Public Property Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-35, authorization to sell real property.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-35 is also assigned to the Recreation and Public Property Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-36, reinstate or establish the home grant program to include the installation of backflow preventers.
Mayor's request for legislation number 26-36 is assigned to the Finance Committee.
Finance Director's request for legislation number F26-18 to amend the 2026 Budget Ordinance 25-98 to appropriate funds into the General Fund, Street Maintenance Fund, Parks and Recreation Fund, and Sewer/WPCC Fund.
Finance Director's request for legislation number F26-18 is prepared this evening as ordinance 2026-58.
And that concludes the written communications.
Thank you. We are now under oral communications. Anyone wishing to address council may step up to the podium, sign in, and direct your questions to myself.
Good evening, council. Matt Watson, city engineer for the city of Tiffin. Like all council meetings in which I'm not in attendance, I've watched the last 2 meetings live from home. During both meetings, I have been referenced personally in discussions regarding the proposed annexation near the intersection of US 224 and State Route 18. And since Saturday's story was published by the Advertiser Tribune, I've been anxiously awaiting the opportunity to come to the podium this evening and address this matter personally myself. I've been with the city of Tiffin for 13 years next month, the city engineer since 2019. During that time, I've strived to build my reputation and our office on transparency. I hope that track record's been proven with the annual updates that I provided to City Council, as well as my past record with the road and bridge levy, knocking on thousands of doors in the community, and also providing annual updates to our residents down to the penny of all the revenue that's coming in with their additional tax dollars, down to the penny of the expenses that went out and what our plan is moving forward. I tried to take that same approach with this public records request. On Thursday, August 6th, at the end of the day, I received an email from our law director with the public records request from the Advertiser Tribune. It was a very lengthy request, and given our current workload that we have in our office, I chose to not take my day off on Friday, August 7th to come in and fulfill that public records request. I spent 4 hours that day providing over 150 records into a city shared drive folder. On Monday, August 10th, I received 9 follow-up questions from the Advertiser Tribune. Those 9 questions were then followed by another 3 questions. I provided very detailed and prompt responses to all 12 questions. To date, I've spent over 5 hours providing transparent information to the Advertiser Tribune regarding this matter. I came here this evening because I wanted to make sure that that same transparency is being provided to City Council and the public. So with that, I'm going to pass out some documents to both those in attendance here in the public, as well as council and the administration, of documents that have been provided through the public records request.
Thank you.
You'll see that in the packet that I sent out, the first thing that I do want to address is my response to the Advertiser Tribune. Pages 1 and 2 of the document are the first 9 questions addressed to me following the public records request. Pages 3 through 10 are my detailed responses, which were attached in a reply email to the reporter. Since it appeared not all the details of my response were published, I do want to publicly address the following, specifically regarding the history and reasoning for the development of a concept plan. My response to that question directly is included in pages 3 and 4 of the attachment. I would like to read that out loud. Internal city discussions pertaining to the future development of the Klaus property dates back multiple administrations. The city of Tiffin had previously expressed their desire for this property to be annexed into the city prior to Mr. Klaus's request for a zoning classification change to Hopewell Township. The property was included in the housing opportunity analysis prepared for TSEP by the DeSalvo Development Advisors LLC dated June 19, 2019. This plan has been referenced in the past as the housing study. In the information I provided, there's a screenshot of the map of that property being shown for sale housing as part of that housing study. The property was also identified for development within the multi-jurisdictional plan prepared for Seneca County, the County Park District, and the City of Tiffin, and the City of Fostoria dated June 2020. There is also a screenshot of that site being shown for development as part of that plan. Given that, there is a limited amount of undeveloped industrial zone property within the city's corporation limits, and the city's general fund revenue, which funds many of the services provided by the city, is supported through income tax, and job creation and growth provides further opportunity for increased revenue for the city of Tiffin and also provides additional job opportunities for the taxpaying citizens of the city of Tiffin. And the development of the property had been previously discussed amongst prior administrations and been included for development within plans including but not limited to the housing study and the multi-jurisdictional plan. And the site's location is in proximity to existing infrastructure with the capabilities to support development, including highways and sewers. And Mr. Klaus showed previous desire to change the zoning of the property to industrial via the prior request to the Hopewell Township trustees. And there had been recent changes in the administration, and I was the only person still involved in the project coordination meetings dating back to the initial discussions. I took it upon myself to develop a plan to conceptually depict the site's opportunities as an industrial park. Upon the concept plan's development, I shared the plan with members of the city administration at a project coordination meeting. So within that response to the AT, other than me just moving forward with a plan, I provided 7 points of context for why that plan was developed. And tonight I want to provide additional context for each one of those 7 points. First being limited availability of undeveloped industrial zone property within the city's corporation limits. Tonight you'll be reading Ordinance 2026-54 for the second time. That is for an option on Lot 4 of the Eagle Rock North Plat located within the Eagle Rock Industrial Park. That is the last city-owned land remaining at the Eagle Rock Industrial Park. Internally, we have known as a city that there was future interest in the development of Lot 2 and Lot 4 in Eagle Rock North since Lot 1 and 3 was developed beginning in 2021. It's the same developer. We've had discussion that if that first project were to move forward successfully, there would be interest in lots 2 and 4. So we knew that this point was coming, that we were going to be running out of industrial land. The second and third points were around the funding component. The city's general fund revenue, which funds many of the services provided by the city, is supported through income tax, and job creation and growth provides further opportunity for increased revenue for the city of Tiffin and also provides additional job opportunities for taxpaying citizens of the city of Tiffin. The finance director just gave her July 2026 financial report. In that report, income tax receipts were down 2.52% year to date from 2025. Let's talk about expenses. We continue to see increased expenses as a result of inflation. Tonight, there's legislation being read, just that, inflation on operational costs associated with utilities. The 2026 expense budget significantly is an increase from the 2025 expense budget. So we have a decrease in revenue, an increase in expenses. What's that going to do to the unencumbered balance? The unencumbered balance right now in 2026 compared to that of 2025 is decreased. The question I have, how does that compare with the minimum carryover policy that City Council recently approved? I've done my research. I'll let you do your own. I also should note there's a statewide petition to remove property taxes. Although it hasn't moved forward and has not been successful, I believe it's been discussed in public meetings that if that were to move forward, the city could lose an additional $1 million in revenue. So I think it is key to note the long-term economic impact and note that revenue maintains and provides the services for our residents. The fourth point, the development of the property has been previously discussed amongst prior administrations and been included for development within plans including but not limited to the housing study and multi-jurisdictional plan. Planning is meant to show opportunity. I developed a concept plan. That does not set anything in stone. That was meant to show opportunity to the decision makers, who is the administration and city council. The AT article referenced that I had done this previously at the West End development. The West End development is the area of Progress Parkway and Fair Lane. That is true. A concept plan was developed in the past by myself. It was presented to the administration. There was interest gained in the development of that site, It led to the annexation of that property in 2016, which led to Trilogy development that is still ongoing today, the Willows Nursing Home, and it's created jobs for our residents and income tax for our city. The fifth point, the site's location is in proximity to existing infrastructure with capacities to support development, including highways and sewers. Sanitary sewer was previously ran out to the medical offices on US 224 at the time that they developed. This site is in proximity to the intersection of US 224 and State Route 18 and has frontage on both of those highways. US 224 is set up as a bypass around our city. That highway accessibility could provide opportunity for ingress egress from the site without truck traffic having to go through the heart of our town, continuing to impact our roadways. Also, this site is in proximity to existing industrial development and uses, including the Airport Industrial Park on County Road 1, just off 224 on the west side of 224, as well as County Road 54 between State Route 53 and US 224, just south of the fairgrounds. The sixth point, Mr. Klaus's previous desire to change the zoning of the property to industrial through the prior request to the Hopewell Township trustees. I think this is a very important point. It was included briefly in today's article, but I believe omitted from Saturday's article. There's been prior interest prior to all this discussion and outside public meetings regarding the change of the property from agricultural to industrial. And I can assure you through internal meetings in the past, there has been prior interest in that site from developers to develop it as commercial property. That is what triggered that initial request to the Hopewell Township trustees. And the seventh point, there have been recent changes in the administration, and I was the only person still involved in the project coordination meetings dating back to the initial discussions. We host project coordination meetings twice a month. These are used to coordinate both public and private projects. There's lots going on in this city. I think that's evident both on the development side and the public project side. These meetings are used to maintain organization and hold everybody accountable to ensure that we have successful projects. Those meetings are composed of the mayor, the city administrator, the law director, the finance director, a representative from economic development, and the city engineer. Recently, we have added the public works superintendent to those meetings, and those meetings began around 2019. I prepare the agendas and have been tasked to run and lead the discussion at those meetings. Because of the turnover, my experience and historical knowledge has resulted in me having to expand my role as the city engineer and providing recommendation and guidance to others. Next, I want to address sewer service agreements. I thought these were referenced very well in today's newspaper article. It provided the legal language included in the documents and the reasoning for why they are enforceable. Within this packet, you'll see I provided a detailed response pertaining to the sewer service agreements to the Advertiser Tribune. Also, for both the public and city council, I provided in the packet the recorded sewer service agreement for 2685 and 2695 West US 224, the recorded sewer service agreement for 2702 West State Route 18, a GIS screenshot of the active sewer service agreements around the city, a GIS screenshot of active sewer service agreements near the intersection of US 224 and State Route 18, and the concept plan that's been floating around that shows the active sewer service agreements being shown on the plan and how they create connectivity for a proposed annexation. All of this was also provided to the Advertiser Tribune. The city engineer's office is responsible for developing each site-specific agreement based on a template developed by the law director, and also responsible for coordinating the execution and recording in advance of providing the sewer applicant with a permit to connect to the city's sewer. To date, 364 sewer service agreements have been executed and recorded at the Seneca County Recorder's Office. Sewer service agreement number 365 is currently sitting on my desk awaiting the check from the finance department so that it can be recorded. The fee to record that sewer service agreement that is sitting on my desk is $70. This is 365 sewer agreements. You times that by $70 a piece to record. The city has invested $25,550 in today's dollars in recording those sewer service agreements alone. That does not include my time or my staff's time developing, coordinating the agreement, and executing them. I think it's pretty safe to say that the city's invested $50,000 plus into these sewer service agreements. That being said, if we are wrong to enforce them, wrong to include them on a concept plan for a basis of discussion, and do not plan to enforce them as a city, please let me know so that I can remove this responsibility from my office's plate and stop wasting city dollars and time developing, executing, and recording these agreements. The last thing I want to address is the records request. Saturday's article perceived that certain records from our office were not provided. Specifically, files within the Klaus Industrial Park folder within the city engineer's office's shared drive. Pages 14 through 16 in the packet that I provided you shows that I personally provided those records internally. I uploaded them to the city's shared drive. Beyond that point, I'm not involved in the public records request. Those files included screenshots of the files with all the folders and a screenshot of within each folder of all the files within that folder. The AutoCAD file for the concept plan, which is a working document, was also included, uploaded to that folder. So in conclusion, I have nothing personal against those who feel they are impacted by this proposal. I feel as though I have done nothing more than go above and beyond doing my job for the 17,000 residents of the city of Tiffin. Ordinance 2026-56 is being considered tonight by City Council, and that is proposing to invest into a citywide strategic development plan. Within that plan, you'll have several concepts that show opportunities for our city. Nothing more than what I have done to date. I've created a concept plan that shows opportunity. As stated in today's paper, it's up to council to make the decisions from here and weigh the opinions of Hopewell Township residents versus what they feel is the best for the city. That's the true question behind all of this, and I'm here just to present the facts and information to assist council with their decision-making process. I'm not here to advocate one way or the other. It's providing you the information because you are the decision maker. When articles like the one on Saturday are published, deep down, it really makes you begin to question the why. Why do you sacrifice and devote the time and effort that you do to try to go above and beyond for this community? When there's other opportunities out there, why put yourself through this? It just really makes you question the why. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. In the 3 years that I've been on council, I've had nothing but the highest amount of respect for all the work you've done, and you've done everything with the highest level of integrity and attention to detail. And the city, and I know I speak for the rest of City Council, we are extremely lucky to have you, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. And I just want to, not on the behalf of anybody, but I apologize that you had to, kind of go through that and feel that way and express it that way. But I do appreciate what you gave us today in your comments. So thank you. Councilmember Dougherty.
Mr. Watson, I also want to echo those same things. I think you do a great job for the city. I know you save us a ton of money, and your office does a really good job, so thank you for that. With that being said, is everything in here public knowledge, I'm assuming?
All that has been provided to the Advertiser Tribune, and full transparency.
I don't know if I need to make a motion, but can we hold one of these on the clerk's file in case somebody from the public wanted to go through this? Is that a...
Yeah, you can provide it to her. What's been given to the advertiser, I still have all of that. So if somebody makes a records request, I'll have it ready.
Okay.
But yeah, everything that was given to me by a couple of the different people who those requests were made to, it's all still there. It's a lot of records, and that's just what Matt provided. There's others, quite a bit.
Councilmember Snee.
Yeah, but I mean, I have no idea. I can't even put a dollar amount on wasted time. Your wasted time, your department's wasted time. Whoever So on the other side, they might be, if they complain about dollar amounts being frivolously spent, I feel that this is an example of it. And yeah, I mean, harass.
Councilmember Reesner.
I'd also like to reiterate their comments. Thank you again for your
Yeah,
transparency.
yeah.
Okay. Mayor, please.
I don't know if it's appropriate for me to add something to what Matt has already said, but this part was in the paper this morning. And I don't know if everybody had a chance to read the paper, but I just want to read a section of this. My purpose in making that visit last February was simply to provide the Fletchers with advance notice that a petition concerning the agreement would soon be filed. I felt it was more respectful and transparent to meet with the Fletchers in person, provide them with a copy of the recorded sewer service agreement, and give them an opportunity to review and understand it before receiving any formal correspondence in the mail. My intent was not to pressure or surprise them, but rather to ensure that they had the information in advance and the opportunity to ask questions and consider the matter before any official action was taken. And that was quoted very well in the newspaper this morning. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that, just in case you didn't have a chance to read it.
Okay, thank you. We're still under oral communications. If anyone else would like to address council, step up to the podium.
Dale Thornton, 315 East South Trail, Tiffin, Ohio. I live outside of the city, but as the previous city administrator for 7 years, I worked closely with Matt. I have the greatest respect for this man as a city engineer for the city of Tiffin. He has spent countless hours beyond his working hours supporting the city. He would be a great loss to this city should he decide to take some other opportunity. I was here when we built the new Mercy Hospital, which is in the vicinity of the area that's being described now. I remember a lot of discussion amongst citizens about why we needed to move out there and why we would go to that area, and neighbors in that area having concerns which we attempted to address. I think everyone will agree now that that move has helped the city of Tiffin and has helped that hospital stay operable in this area. Without that move, Mercy Tiffin would be closed today. The city has to continue to grow. It has to find ways to increase the jobs, to increase the presence of organizations willing to come here and build. And without the land to do that, without that opportunity, it just won't happen. And the problem that Matt pointed out tonight about revenues and expenses is a very real one. So I hope the council, as they consider what is needed for the health of this community, will take into great regard Matt's comments and consider the overall health of this community as it makes its decision, as I know they will. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thornton.
Hi, I'm Anna Fleckner. I wanted to clarify, I live at 2702 West State Route 18, my family's role in this annexation. We've never been approached as partners in this project. We were never asked whether we wanted to participate in an annexation or whether we supported the development being contemplated behind our home. From the beginning, our property appears to have been viewed as land that is enforceable by sewer agreement that could be used to require our participation. When we learned about the annexation, discussions and planning had already been taking place without us. When we were finally approached, it was not presented to us as a choice. We were told that our sewer agreement required us to join that petition, and there could be consequences if we did not. I think that distinction matters. We did not initiate the annexation. We did not ask to be involved in it. We did not participate in the developing of any concepts for it. We are homeowners whose property became necessary for somebody else's plans. From our perspective, we have repeatedly been treated as a property that could be compelled into participating rather than a family whose concerns deserve to be heard and addressed. This has, played a major emotional toll on our family too. I want the council to understand that the impact of this process does not end when a meeting is over or when someone leaves the office for the day. For those involved professionally, it may be something that they work on during the day and get to go home and be away from. We can't do that. This is our home. We live in the middle of it every day. The uncertainty and stress surrounding the annexation have followed us into our home and affected our entire family. It has kept me awake many nights. It has consumed countless hours of our time as it became a constant source of worry and tension, and our children feel that tension too. They are only 4 and 7 years old, but they know something is happening. They overhear conversations, they see their parents worried and stressed, and they ask questions. Have you ever had to explain annexation to a 4-year-old and 7-year-old? Have you ever had to reassure your children about their home and that it will always be there when you don't know what is going to happen yourself? We do our best to protect them from the stress, but children know when their parents are worried. They feel it even when they don't understand why. This isn't something that Tommy and I can simply leave at the office at the end of the day. It comes home with us because it is about our home. It is about a place where we are raising our children and the future we envisioned for our family. I understand that this is an annexation petition, a development opportunity, or a property on the map. But for us, this is our family's life. We ask that you please remember that as this process moves forward. There is a family living inside those property lines, and the decisions that you make have very real human impact on the 4 of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Parkins, and I had absolutely no intention of speaking tonight. But I understand, again, about growth being needed and apologizing to Matt about the hours that he has put in and the extra time he has put in. And just like Anna said, we don't get to walk away from that either. This property goes right up to my driveway. Right next to my driveway. I thought originally we had a little strip of land, but we don't. So it is proposed heavy industrial right up to my driveway. There's no buffer of any type. And I don't understand how this is okay. And for it being okay for one person, one developer, one property owner to get to go to different houses and try to buy them off, to go to different businesses and try to buy it off. That's not okay. To use money and throw money around to get what he wants. It's not the greater good. Heavy industrial, light industrial, like we learned before, light industrial can be the parking lot of a heavy industrial building. That can be considered light industrial. All of the property owners around there, and how many are there? Yeah. We weren't notified what kind of businesses we would like to see or not see. We haven't been apologized to for dealing with this 24 hours a day. And I didn't buy my house to see that. I didn't redo my house one room at a time and spend 20 years doing it to now look out my window and know that it's very probably, I'm going to have to see an industry. Not why I bought my house, not why I sunk the money into my house, not why we bought where we did. We lived in Tiffin a long time. I loved Tiffin. I wanted quiet. I wanted peace. I wanted quiet. I wanted that for my kids. These businesses, they have heavy industrial, even light industrial. There's a lot that's going to impact the environment. A lot. And nobody seems to care about that aspect as well. And us not being notified about a thing. I guess that's my question. Why are we not notified either when it goes directly up to our driveway? Nobody came to our house. I mean, sure, we don't have to change our sewer at this point. But who's to say in 10 years, we won't be approached with that as well. 20 years, we won't be approached with that as well. I just don't think that this is being well thought out. I think that it is one person's money being thrown around and trying to buy things with that money. And I don't know, you can't buy integrity. And I just think that's what he's trying to do. And I think you really need to look into it a little bit further. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else this evening?
Mr. President.
Please.
Just in response, as we move forward with our next community, if we move forward with the next community plan, I do feel like these are good lessons in getting community input on all 6 of those priority areas before our next plan comes out, and really increasing that effort at every point along the development of a plan. And as much as we might have tried in the past, maybe it needs additional effort.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no other comment at this time, we are now under motions. Are there any motions this evening? Okay, seeing none, we are now under resolutions and ordinances.
We have resolution number 2026-47, introduced by John Hayes, a resolution approving and adopting the use of federal funds policies for the city of Tiffin and declaring an emergency.
This is the third reading of resolution 2026-47. I was told before the meeting that it was the third reading. Is that correct, Ann?
Yeah.
Yes, the packet does say second, but that is the third reading.
There is a revised.
Revised, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Please. Oh, thanks. Yes, this is the third reading of resolution 2026-47. Councilmember Reesner.
So I'll make the motion. I guess you can't do it. It was
I don't know, maybe I could, but
I move to, for passage of resolution 2026-47.
thank you. There's a motion for passage of resolution 2026-47. Is there a second? Councilmember Dougherty.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we will first vote on the emergency.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Yes.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Motion passes. The vote is 6-0. We will now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-47 passes with a vote of 6-0.
Ordinance number 2026-51, introduced by Kevin Reesner. An ordinance authorizing and directing the city administrator to prepare and issue a request for proposals, RFP, for the development of approximately 0.8 acres of city-owned real estate adjacent to City Lot 6.
This is the second reading of ordinance 2026-51.
Ordinance number 2026-52, introduced by John Hayes. An ordinance to enact Chapter 911 and amend Section 909.11 of the codified ordinances regarding the acquisition and execution of sanitary and stormwater easements and declaring an emergency.
This is the second reading of ordinance 2026-52.
Ordinance number 2026-53, introduced by Dennis Snee, an ordinance enacting Chapter 156 of the codified ordinances to establish the All Patriots Memorial Commission and declaring an emergency.
This is the second reading of ordinance 2026-53.
Ordinance number 2026-54, introduced by Dennis Snee, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an option agreement granting AFLP LLC an exclusive option to purchase certain municipal real property located in Eagle Rock North subdivision.
This is the second reading of ordinance 2026-54.
Ordinance number 2026-56, introduced by Aaron Jones. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Gossman Group for the preparation of a citywide strategic development plan, amending the 2026 budget ordinance 2025-98 to appropriate funds into the Economic Development Fund for the plan and declaring an emergency.
This is the first reading of ordinance 2026-56. Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-56, suspending City Council's 3-reading rule.
Thank you. There's a motion for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-56, suspending council's 3-reading rule. Is there a second? Councilmember Snee?
I second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Reesner.
I know I had some reservations in the committee of the whole about the 3-reading rule. 3-reading rule is usually for, if I have this right, public peace or health or public safety. But I think we've got the right people at the collaborative to push us forward. So I'm overlooking it now. I'll support it.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Law Director.
Yeah, suspension and emergency sometimes gets meshed together. Suspension has no reasoning for it. You don't have to, there's no standard for that. It's the emergency portion is what you were referring to, but I know they seem to go together a lot, but just for clarification.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I will ask the clerk to call the roll on the suspension.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Okay, the suspension passes with a vote of 6-0. We will now vote on the emergency.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
The emergency passes with a vote of 6-0. We will now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Dougherty.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Reesner.
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-56 passes with a vote of 6-0.
Ordinance number 2026-57, introduced by Dennis Snee, an ordinance approving the Tiffin's Roots and Rising project at Hedges Boyer Park, authorizing the city administrator to execute contracts and take actions necessary for the project, and declaring an emergency.
This is the first reading of ordinance 2026-57. Councilmember Snee.
I move for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-57, suspended council's 3-reading.
There is a motion for suspension of the 3-reading rule for ordinance 2026-57. Is there a second? Councilmember Reesner.
I'll second, Mr. President.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Snee.
Reason for this suspension is, the project needs to get going. The person that's doing this project, Claudia, right? She's given her time, and she's a teacher, which, wow. And she, not just the price, but paint won't do well in November, December, so won't dry effectively. So I believe we need to get this going.
Very good. Councilmember Reesner.
I'd also like to send appreciation to Claudia. It's people like her, and it's just that's the heart of Tiffin right there. So appreciate. Give her a hug for me if you could.
Any other discussion? Okay, we'll ask the clerk to call the roll on the suspension.
Councilmember Dougherty?
Yes.
Decker?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Reesner?
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Suspension passes with a vote of 6-0. We will now vote on the emergency.
Councilmember Dougherty?
Yes.
Decker?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Reesner?
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
The emergency passes with a vote of 6-0. We will now vote on the passage of the ordinance.
Councilmember Dougherty?
Yes.
Decker?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Reesner?
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-57 passes with a vote of 6-0.
Ordinance number 2026-58, introduced by Kevin Reesner. An ordinance amending the 2026 budget ordinance 2025-98 to appropriate funds into the general fund, street maintenance fund, parks and recreation fund, and sewer/WPCC fund.
This is the first reading of ordinance 2026-58. Councilmember Reesner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-58, suspending city council's reading rule.
There's a motion for immediate passage of ordinance 2026-58, suspending council's 3 reading rules. Is there a second? Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Councilmember Reesner.
Just a quick summary of what this is about. This is $100 to the Finance Department for a reimbursement check received from the EGFOA for travel expenses to attend the annual conference, $7,700 to the Parks and Rec Department for expenses related to vandalism to the units during the 4th of July events, and increases in monthly rates effective July 1st, 2026, increased use of fields for softball and baseball leagues through October, summer, and camp, and expenses due to increased attendance, and finally $50,000 to various departments for telephone, water, gas, and electricity expenses for the remainder of 2026 due to a mid-year review, making the additional appropriations as needed. And appreciate that mid-year review.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll first vote on the suspension.
Councilmember Dougherty?
Yes.
Decker?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Reesner?
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Suspension passes with a vote of 6-0. We will now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Dougherty?
Yes.
Decker?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Reesner?
Yes.
And Snee.
Yes.
Ordinance 2026-58 passes with a vote of 6-0.
That concludes the legislation, Mr. President.
Thank you. We're now under other business. Any other business this evening? Councilmember Snee.
Yes, since I was given, my committee's given a couple of these requests for legislations, I need to schedule a committee meeting.
Okay.
I like to do that, but one of my people in my committee's not here, so. But it would be possibly on Monday, 5/15, 24th. Aaron?
I'm looking.
Okay. I know you're a busier guy now.
Just a little bit busier. Yeah, you said 5:15 on the 24th?
Yeah.
I can do it.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, I'd like to announce Recreation Public Property Committee meeting dealing with request for legislation 2634 and 35. That'll be on the 24th of August at 5:15 p.m. here in council chambers, and anything else that may come before the committee.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Councilmember Reesner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thinking of the 24th for this finance meeting, is it as you'll already be there, maybe have it after his meeting. Does that be a good time for you too?
Yes, as long as I'm not tied up down at the court, but
Okay, and we still have a quorum if it's just us two. And would you want to stay over that day? Oh, thank you. You're good?
Yes, but I also would like to invite Brandon Berner of Public Works and Kevin Hughes of the Water Pollution Control Center to give their historical view of like the process with this grant program and the backflow preventers.
How long do you think they'll need?
I can get a hold of them tomorrow to just find out if they have that in their schedule. So let's go ahead and set the schedule.
24th?
And then I will let them know. And if there's a problem, then we can go back and there'll be plenty of time to reschedule if we need to.
And you can make it to law director. That's all right. It's the 24th. Okay, I'd like to announce a Finance Committee meeting to discuss mayor's request for legislation 26-36 to reinstate or establish the home grant program to include the installation of backflow preventers. Be held in council chambers immediately following the Long Community Planning? No.
Recreation.
Recreation Committee. 24th, council chambers, and any other business that would come before them.
Very good. Thank you. Anything else this evening? Okay, seeing none, we can adjourn. Thank you all.
Wow. That was a little spicy tonight. I think that was pretty cool.